Well, hello everyone at St. Chad's Primary. It's Reverend Joe here, and it is lovely to be with you. I hope you're all doing okay. The Lord be with you, and also with you. Now today, guys, what I'd like to talk to you about is something called DIY. I wonder if you know what DIY means. Well, if you don't, it actually means do it yourself. And we often refer to DIY when we're fixing stuff or we're building something brand new. Now, put your hand up in the air if you enjoy doing DIY. Put your hand up if you enjoy fixing stuff. I do. I like to have a go. Put your hand up in the air if you know someone, maybe a family member or a friend, who is really good at fixing stuff, who's really good at DIY. I know a few people like that. Do any of you, put your hand up again, if you help with the DIY, maybe at home or at school or somewhere else? Put your hand up if you sometimes like to help. And maybe put your hand up as well if you have ever taken on a big project with DIY. So you've built something that's quite big, maybe a go-kart, maybe you've helped out build something in the house. Who knows? Put your hand up if you've helped build something really big and amazing. I've tried at times, I've had mixed results. But it's important when we're planning with our DIY that we use all the right tools and that we follow the instructions. Now I'm wondering, I've got a DIY box next to me, if you can tell me what these tools might be. So who knows what that might be? Put your hand up if you think you know. I'll give you a few seconds. That, my friends, is a hammer. So hammering nails, perhaps into a cupboard or into the wall. Who knows what this is? So that's a screwdriver. Well done if you got that one, for screwing in all your nails. And put your hand up if you know what these are. Give you a few seconds. These, my friends, are called pliers. So they're really helpful for dragging stuff out of the walls like old rusty nails and things like that. And it's really important that we've got the best tools for the job and that we use the right tools as well. Now, I'm going to leave you to answer a few questions together. And what I'd like you to discuss as a class is two questions, really. One is, what DIY work have you seen done? And question two is, have you ever seen it done badly and it's failed? So what have you seen done, and have you ever seen something done badly? Answer those questions together. Well, welcome back. Well done for answering those questions. I'd love to hear about some of your horror stories when it comes to DIY. Now, I'm sure you'll be able to discuss this as a class later, but what can happen if we don't follow the instructions correctly? Or if we don't concentrate on what we're doing? If we're busy doing something else and we're not really giving it our full concentration, what can happen? I'll let you answer that later, but first, I want to tell you a story, okay? And it's about a carpenter. And a carpenter is someone who does a lot of DIY and works with tools. And this carpenter is a guy called Bill, and Bill is just about to retire, okay? Because he's been in the carpentry trade for 50 years. And here's a picture of Bill. Now, he's been a carpenter ever since he left school when he was 15 years old. And Bill has always been good using his hands. And as far back as he can remember, he always wanted to be a carpenter. And he learned his trade in a small joiner's shop and had spent his entire life working in the house building business. But Bill was now 65 years old and he was ready to retire. Bill planned to finish his work at the end of the month and finally put his feet up to rest. "It's time to hang up my tools and spend more time in the garden with my grandchildren," he told Mr. Towers, who was his employer for the last 40 years and a very good friend. Bill knew that he would miss his paychecks, but he and his wife would get by. It was now time to call it a day. Mr. Towers was very sorry to see Bill go. He had been a great worker. "Please, Bill, will you just work on one more house for me, as a personal favour?" "All right," Bill said, and began this last job. Mr. Towers didn't tell him who owned the house that he was working on. And as time went by, it was clear that his heart was not in his work. Bill began to cut corners and not look at the instructions properly, and resorted to shoddy workmanship and using inferior materials. He didn't take the same time or care that he usually took. It was a sad way for such a skillful man to end his career. Now, when Bill had finished his work, Mr. Towers came to inspect the house. Then, to Bill's surprise, he handed Bill the key to the front door. "This house is for you, Bill," he said. "It's my gift to you for all of your years of service." Now imagine Bill's surprise and shock. What a shame! If only Bill had known that he was working on his own house, he might have done it so differently. And now, well, he had to live in a home with all the little mistakes and poor materials and shortcuts that only he knew about. Oh dear, poor Bill. Now that story all about Bill and working on that final house, well, it's a little bit like our own lives, because every day we ourselves are building something towards something that's very important. We build our lives today and for tomorrow and for the future and what we will become. And sometimes we put the very best effort into what we do, don't we? And at the beginning of a school year, we're still quite new into this year. That's quite an easy thing to do because, there's the reward of doing well, and we're excited about it and we're enthusiastic and we think, yes, I want to do well. But then, when summer comes round and the sun's shining outside, well, sometimes we'd rather be outside playing, and we don't really want to put the most effort into our work. And whilst we can go outside and play during play times and when we've got some free time, when it comes to our schoolwork, we really need to put in the best effort possible and use the best tools to make sure our futures are built strong. I wonder what we can do in school to make sure that we use the right tools and we build towards something better. How can we as a school, how can each and every single one of us try our hardest and put our best effort into making sure we build a solid foundation for our own lives? So maybe you want to discuss that together as a class. What can you do in school to make sure that you put the best effort into building your life? Wonderful. So well done for talking about that together. Now let's take some time to reflect on everything that we've spoken about this morning. So I want you to imagine that you yourself are a carpenter. And your life is like that house that Bill was working on. However, you're not going to be building any walls or laying floorboards or hammering in nails. Today, you're going to be working at school from home or at school and relating to your parents and to your teachers and your carers and other children and your brothers and sisters and your friends. And I want you to think about how can you build your life in a wise manner? How can you build for a solid and successful future? So shall we pray together? Let's close our eyes. So dear God, I would like my life to be built on good and strong foundations. I hope that I can build a life that everybody is proud of, but most importantly, me. Help me today to make wise choices and to have the right attitude to do my best. Amen. And let's say the prayer that Jesus taught us how to say. So, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Well, guys, it's been so lovely to join you today, whether you're at home or in school itself. And just to finish with, would you like to hear a song? Don't worry, I'm not going to sing it to you. I'll play a music video. But would you like to hear a song? I'm sure you would. Well, this song, it's all about building our lives, even when times get difficult. And especially when times get difficult, when we're feeling a bit, oh, can't be bothered to do that today. Even when those mountains get really high, it's important to carry on climbing. You might know where this song is going now, to carry on climbing and to do our best and to never give up, even when it gets really challenging. Now this song, it's called The Climb, and it was originally sung by a lady called Miley Cyrus, but I've got a cover version for you today by a band called Boyce Avenue. So really enjoy this, and I'll see you next time. Take care, bye.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost with no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. I gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most, yeah. Just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah. Gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there, ain't about what's waiting on the other side.